So I finished 4 days on the islands, 2 days awesome, 2 days not so good, ended up with the barley belly, you know, pretty bad. But I'm back staying at this hotel, just run into 3 different Aussies staying here in Phnom Penh. But this hotel has these like 3 or 4 alleys around it, filled with just Japanese restaurants. It looks so Japanese, it's amazing. This is the first time in 2 weeks it has poured down, and it's pouring. It's actually bloody awesome. Now I'm actually downstairs in the alleyway. So cool. It's like a little bit of Japan. So unexpected. That's where I'm staying up there. What's going on? Store, Cambodian style, outdoor pet shops. Lots of budgies. Lots of fish tanks. Lots of birds. I mentioned geckos. I'm not sure if they're all geckos. They look like some sort of water dragon. Just me and the boys grabbing a coffee down at local Brown Sugar. Definitely my favourite coffee shop in Phnom Penh. I haven't been to all of them. This is my favourite. Great coffee, great view. Lots of concrete. Loving the concrete. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. A tree in every store. That's a wooden tree. I've never seen one before. It's pretty bloody cool. Kittens everywhere. There's Mama. Don't mess. Kittens everywhere. Tonight's dinner in Phnom Penh is in a traditional, a little bit upmarket, but a traditional Cambodian restaurant. Traditional food. I don't really think people lived and ate in places like this 100 years ago, but it's beautiful. It's incredible. I don't know what I'm having, but hot tip, probably not going to be frog's legs again. What a beautiful spot. Standing outside the Phnom Penh post office, which is French architecture, and this whole square, you can see there, that's unrestored. It's just full of old French buildings that have survived. Some of them they've restored, I don't know, some of them they haven't, but you can see in the background, yeah, it's a couple of, it's almost like a French section. It's beautiful. And apparently the post office is still in use, so checks in the mail. So inside, it's a working post office, which is brilliant. And it's got this amazing tiled floor and some stuff going on there. Down there's a Starbucks. Not really quite sure how that works in with the French theme, but no, this place is pretty beautiful. You know, the French aren't totally rubbish, I guess. Now that is the only large monkey I have seen in Phnom Penh ever. Not that I'm a regular here. There he is. Au revoir, Frenchie. Look at this, more French architecture. After me, people. Au revoir, Frenchie. If Batman was a tuk-tuk. Get it, India. So last couple of nights in Phnom Penh, down near the harbour. Beautiful spot. I'm gonna head over to that thing there. It's like a floating restaurant or something. Let's go and do it. Beautiful. Look at that bridge. Phnom Penh, turning it on, as I am with this sexy shirt. Been carrying it for 2 weeks. So I know we're all really focused on trying to get our forecast right and our volumes correct and all the important stuff. I'm at my favourite coffee place in Phnom Penh called Brown Coffee. I keep calling it brown sugar, but brown. It is done in this amazing concrete architecture with all of this incredible 70s furniture. I love it. There's this is where I sit. Got a view of the traffic. Sit in one of these sort of executive style chairs, appropriate for myself. And one thing I don't think about is volumes. I don't. This morning I will for a short period. I'll see you shortly. For those of you who aren't experienced travellers like myself, this is what the main markets in Phnom Penh, this is what the dome looks like. It's been here like 100 years. That is pretty bloody cool. Not sure how long it's going to last, but it's pretty cool, and it's standing right now. How cool is this? I just about got taken out by this girl, and that little girl up there using one of those old school cranes. Just about took my head off. They do it with a smile. And tonight, finally, genuine Korean, Cambodian barbecue. Let's see how we go. And let's drop into Aussie XL. A surprise for you. When in Cambodia, drink Korean rice wine. That makes sense. One of the things I absolutely have to catch before I leave this accommodation, you've seen the wooden Christmas tree. Get a load of their fish tank. Turtles everywhere. Mini turtles, big turtles, little turtles. Look at this little guy. So cute. So many turtles. So one of the last stops before leaving Cambodia and heading home is the Royal Palace. Now, this is a little bit impressive. And all in a modern city. I'm sure other places do this, but I like this. Feels very authentic. So here in the Royal Palace, just having a look around at what are some incredible, just very unique pieces of architecture, as you would expect. And I'm like, the place is huge and it's amazing. And then I come across this heap of crap. And I'm like, what's that? So Napoleon, 200 years ago, that was his gift to the royal family. Have a look at this. have a look at this. The jerk built it in the middle of the royal palace. This. It pretty much equates to a 3-year-old snot model compared to the rest of what's here. So there you go. Napoleon has left his snot model in the middle of what is just an incredible, beautiful Asian palace. God, Napoleon's a jerk. You know, if I was going to start like a Phnom Penh series on like Netflix, it would have to be like rooftop, like people's rooftop lifestyles. Get a load of this stuff. Now, this is just one view from one hotel, but bam. It sort of looks like a mini tennis court that someone's created on top of their roof, right next door to someone who's done like God, at some point it looks like a really cool barbecue. If I could zoom in on some of the other places, you'd get it. It's like at some point they were cool and then they just got shit. Phnom Penh rooftop barbecues. Stay tuned for the next episode. So my thoughts as I leave Cambodia. I've been here for 2 weeks. I did do an island trip, but apart from that, I've pretty much lived in the same spot in the city, and I've worked and I've just gotten familiar with the surrounds. I would have to say this is the most livable Asian city I have been to in terms of cost, traffic, security. I mean, it is more expensive to buy coffee and food than Vietnam, but the rent is quite incredible. 2-bedroom unit in the middle of the city, walk everywhere, about 800 Aussie a month for quite a nice apartment that comes furnished. About to jump on the bus. They've got like a whole lot of different Uber style apps. It's just, you know, it's less populated than Manila. You can't work here. Well, there's no way to get work here. But in terms of living cheaply and just having a great lifestyle, I'm probably here at the most moderate temperature time of the year because it's high 20s, low humidity, which is strange for Asia. But boy, it's incredible. I'm having thoughts of living here. Not that it's possible right now, but just incredible. Just truly an incredible experience. I've loved it. See you soon. So I've ended up on a sleeper in the middle of the day. Not a bad setup, really. Even got like got a little TV. Don't know if it works. A sleeper, middle of the day. So I would say that I'm probably got at least a 1 hour wait in the baggage line, which I'm not looking forward to. So I've been wanting to capture some of my thoughts about Cambodia before I sort of head back to Australia. And I'd have to say, probably one of the most livable cities that I've been to. Great rent. Food prices are okay, not as cheap as Vietnam, but it's a very conservative population. So you don't see a lot of women getting around in miniskirts and things like that. It's very conservative. There's certainly nothing like a Thailand walk street. I could live there, but you can't get a job there. Like it's just not going to happen, right? But you know, for $800 a week, you can get an amazing apartment. Sorry, $800 a month, you get an amazing apartment in the city. Look, Vietnam probably has better coffee spots, but brown coffee there was without doubt my favourite. One of the other things about the city is there are not too many foreigners, but there's a lot of Western facilities. The traffic's not terrible. There's a great social life after dark. Like everyone gets out, they go to the markets, they sort of hang out near the river. It's quite incredible. The history there is amazing. Cambodians love Cambodia. They really love it. They love their royal family. They're very proud of it. There's flags flying everywhere. The Koh Rong was incredible. There's no doubt about it. That as an island was stunning. Accommodation was about $120 a night, but you can pay up to $400. The food was great, although that is probably where I picked up the stomach bug that I had. I'll drop a reel later on. What I'm going to do is probably go onto YouTube and put 35 minutes of my videos over there because a lot didn't get played. But boy, I discovered Imodium. If you haven't discovered Imodium for diarrhea, you want to get onto it. But word of caution, take it easy, because you take too many and it goes the other way, and that's not comfortable. Well, rumour has it, that's not a great outcome either. The beer isn't great. There's like 1 or 2 microbreweries, but I didn't drink a lot because I just didn't like the beer. And the spirits are all a little bit iffy, to be honest. Like, eventually I didn't drink spirits either because they're cheap, but I don't know. One of the other things I'd say, don't use Airbnb in Cambodia. It's not the same standard as in other countries. Use hotels, because I stayed in a couple of Airbnbs. The linen wasn't clean. They were dusty. They looked like they hadn't been cleaned in a while. So I'd stick to hotels. Airbnb is cheap, but I'd stick to hotels. Really, there's a big police and military presence, but it's not over the top. But you do feel reasonably secure because they do control the place, trust me. The only thing you've got to watch out for is wealthy. The wealthy people there have been known to run people down and then just pay compensation. So they won't be going to jail. So just be careful when you're on the streets. Look, I would say overall, livable, for me, it's an 8 out of 10, maybe a 9 out of 10. Because the traffic's not bad, it's cheap to get around, there's a great variety of food, but it's just, you know, look, I was there when the temperature I think was quite favourable. So I enjoyed the temperature, 28, 29, low humidity, bit of a breeze, just beautiful. But you've got to have aircon. You can't sleep without aircon. Yeah, the other thing, poodles and Pomeranians. It's just a culture. They're everywhere. Like, they're just everywhere. And they're only about $200 to buy. So, look, I'm going to go and jump into my line. I reckon I'm going to be there an hour and a half. And I'll post this sometime tomorrow. But been amazing 2.5 weeks. Time to head home, but I'd love to do it again.